All right, we got the Gan 11M Pro again. The interesting thing about this cube is that it's the only cube I'm aware of that comes in both black and primary internals. I've never known if there was really a difference in the feel between these or the performance. So I wanted to try all of the options before I gave a full review on this cube. And there's actually more than just this. I assume Gan has been having issues with production because a lot of these options for the outer surface as well have been on pre-order. And I can't make a full review until I know what all of those feel like. So until then, the review will have to wait, but I do want to see if there's a difference between these two, as the primary internal cubes I've used before generally tend to be not so good, and I don't know if that has to do with whether or not it's primary, because of course I've never tried the exact same cube with both internals. I think what I'll do first is just get all of the settings to be the same on both cubes. So you always want to start with the blue setting, which is kind of like screwing in the screw, which controls how tight each side can be. And this stuff also comes in the other box. There's settings 1 and 3, 2 and 4 on this one. I explained this in a different video and I will in the review as well, but here they've already been set to 1, which is the one I'm using. And then for the spring compression or the clear part, I'm just gonna keep twisting it counterclockwise till it hits the top. There, and then I'm gonna go 4 clicks from here, which is the setting that I use. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this barely shows up on camera, but there's the little 1, 2, 3 for the magnet strength, and you use the screwdriver to move it around, but I like it on 2. Okay, so right now it's definitely still got that really new cube feel where it's kind of scratchy. You can feel more of the turns because the plastic hasn't really smoothed it out as much yet from break-in. The primary one right now is much faster and even feels a bit looser. That's generally just what happens with break-in. So I'm going to actually do some more solves with these. I'll do some more solves with both of these later to see after break-in with the black if I can actually notice a difference, or even if I like one of them more than the other. Yeah, so that's just gonna go at the end of the video. Next, we're looking at the Gan Pyraminx, and there are 2 of them because this is the Explorer version and this is the enhanced version. Let's start by opening up the Explorer version. Gan always does a great job with the packaging and look of the cube. Well, this isn't a cube, but someone commented recently saying triangle cube, and that really made me laugh. So here are the accessories. We just have, I swear I'm not doing that on purpose, this stuff just flies out of my hands. So we have these Gan GES nuts here, and these are what control basically like the screw depth, but there are springs in here and I don't see a spring compression system, so I assume you could just switch these out. You don't actually do the turning thing that you would with the Gan 11. This is extremely smooth. I don't know if that's a good thing because I feel like the layers don't snap as well. I can definitely feel the magnets. Yeah, the magnets don't feel like they're really snapping. It's more of a smooth glide through. It's been 3 years and I've completely lost the ability to do speed solves at all. So I'm just gonna kind of walk through it. There's the red green. There's the green yellow, and this one is flipped, so I'll take it out. And well, who knows what you're supposed to do here. Let me solve that edge, and then, nice. This is the Chi MS Pyraminx, and as you can see from the magnet strength, it clicks into place and makes that sound. And so if I'm turning with a very constant force, it definitely does get sort of like stuck at the exact points, which is kind of what you want. And here, this is definitely a lot smoother going through it. It doesn't like completely get locked at that one layer part. But I think what the Gan Pyraminx has going for it is I don't run into lockups usually. It feels like the corner cutting is better. So in the Chi MS, if I do a similar thing, like it locks into the layers well, but I constantly get caught on the turns. Gan Pyraminx instructions. Here's the easy opening cap. I assume this works as usual, where the colors of the rainbow go from strongest to loosest springs. What's already inside here is green, and this little metal bar points in both directions and just tells you which setting is already on. These numbers mean how far out this can move, so you can think of the numbers as looseness. 0.8 is more loose than 0.6. And then we have this removal option, so if I just twist it again to put it on the remove, then I can take this whole spring out. Okay, I just have to let this lift up and then try to press down in a way where the spring stays up. There we go. So when you twist this, it changes the looseness of like how far out this can all move. But when you change the color, it changes the spring compression. I am actually not going to do that because I don't think I'll be able to actually feel a difference on a Pyraminx, as I don't do Pyraminx. Now here is the enhanced. Just want to see what the difference is. I was looking at the SpeedCube Shop website to see what the difference is. For one, there's upgraded core positioning. I slightly disassembled them both, so up here it looks the same. I looked at the core, it also looks the same, so I'm not really sure what that means. But for the increased magnet strength, what I could find was in the middle of an enhanced edge piece, there is a magnet, and for the Explorer version, there is no magnet in that same spot. So the two magnets on the edge piece where they should touch is right here, and so they'll make contact like that. And on the Explorer version, that is not there. With the extra magnet strength, I can't really say it's snapping into place any better, so it doesn't feel stronger in that way, but it does feel like it stabilizes the edge more during the turns. So the edges kind of stay in place better, I guess, because when you're turning this way, it's more attached to the core here. And I barely do Pyraminx, I can still feel that, so that's definitely a thing that the Enhanced has going for it. So if you are really serious about Pyraminx, I do think the Enhanced is better, and the Gan Pyraminx may be the best one, considering I like its corner cutting better than any other Pyraminx, although if you're just getting into Pyraminx, I think the Qi MS is a lot better for the price. Next we have the RS4M. I like this shorter name, I like that there's no MF3, and I love that they didn't put 2020 at the end of it. They really want me to use these stands. Yeah, I'm not feeling this one at all. Plus, I also really don't like the size of it. I think it's a little bit too big, and that makes some of the finger tricks that you normally use on 3x3 a lot harder to use on this. And even with that aside, I just don't think the performance is really great. I get lockups where the cube just like explodes out of my hand, and so I would go for the Meilong 4x4 if you wanted a budget 4x4. It's also smaller, and I just think the performance on this is much better. But if you don't care about price and you just want the best 4x4 for you, I think just depending on your hand size, either the mini YJ Cube, the Aosu WRM, or the YJ MGC will be the best for you. And they have slightly different sizes, so I like the one in the middle the most. When I was cutting open the package wrapping, I somehow managed to perfectly just give a haircut to this. It's supposed to look like this in case you're wondering. Comet is a new lube at SpeedCube Shop, and there's also Cosmos, which you can't really read on this, but this is just they've renamed Controlius, so this makes your cube a little slower and Comet makes your cube faster. I'll quickly try these both out and see how they are. For Comet, it says 6 drops in break-in. I started by trying 2 drops in the RS3M 2020. This lube is kind of like Lunar. It makes the cube very fast, but unlike Lunar, I don't feel like it goes uncontrollably fast. Then when I put in 4 and then 6 drops, it got slower each time, but I think it may come back to speed when it breaks in. I also tried 1 drop on the WRM 2020, which is a very fast cube, and it got so fast that I can't control it anymore. I also tried Cosmos, which slows down the cube, and I only tried it in the WRM because it's too fast. After 1 drop, I barely noticed a difference, but after 2 drops, it definitely started to slow down, and I think 3 may be good. You have to be more careful with this slower lube, and make sure you break it in between each drop, just to make sure you don't make your cube too slow by accident. So I think Comet is a very good all-purpose lube. You can probably use it in pretty much anything, even big cubes, to speed it up if you don't put in too much. And Cosmos is pretty much only when you have a cube that's too fast and you want to slow it down. So I wouldn't use this on everything, only for a specific purpose. And I should say a few words about Candy Cane. It does make your cube smell really nice, so that's a plus. And it kind of feels like Martian. It's kind of like in between, like less fast than Comet, but it still is like a good all-purpose lube. I'm always excited for this holiday stuff because the designs are kind of nice. Ooh, that's not holiday. Oh, so just SpeedCube Shop Astronaut bags, and then Snowman and Gingerbread Man. I think the Santa and the Snowman are really cute. These drawstring bags are just to put cubes in if you don't want to damage it, like if you put it in your backpack, or just to store lube in, as I find this is really good for just holding it all in one place. That one is Rudolph. I'm glad they gave me a fully stickered cube this time, because when I do the stickers myself, it doesn't really turn out quite so well. The stickers are not your standard solid color. They're kind of like a shinier kind, and that kind of fits with the holiday theme. I think I would have liked a brighter green, but there also has to be a challenge with this cube, which is, yeah, these two sides. They look very similar. Oh right, I'm supposed to use the Candy Cane lube. So for this solve, I think I'm gonna go with the easiest color I can spot. I think that's why a lot of people go for white usually, but I'm gonna go for red here. Oh, nice, we got blue and green already done. Am I really trying to plan first bear here? Okay, that's really nice, but I'm not gonna know what to do after that. Okay, I'm not getting, actually, and I'll explain that in a second. Oh no, what? Ugh. That's not solved. And a J-perm. Ugh. I didn't realize for the longest time I didn't solve F2L. So the PLL, I was thinking like, okay, how are there two blocks like this and nothing else? And that just confused me for the longest time. So what I was gonna say that solve was I got a lot of cases that were technically bad, but were actually really good given it was on this cube. So like a lot of the times, I think I got this sort of case twice, and this is actually good because then I don't have to look for the edge. I just notice it's between the two of the same colors. So this generally being a bad case actually ended up working out really well. I must have spent like 10 to 15 seconds on PLL, so that's not acceptable. I'm gonna do that again. Okay, I'm gonna try and mix it up this time. I'll go for silver first as I have two cross pieces done, and yeah, being color neutral, that should be an advantage. Oh, and I think I can make an X cross too. So this green and dark gold, I can put it with this one. How would I even do that? Okay. All right, I am sufficiently confused. Trying to think of too much there at once and it just didn't work. Oh, that's nice, a red block. Sub 20, I'm okay with that. I just have to make sure this is actually solved. Yep, I think so. After using the black plastic for a while to break it in, I think they're definitely getting really similar, and it's not something I would really need to pick between for performance, more of just how it looks. Now there is still a difference I can feel due to probably just how much I've broken them in since I've used the primary plastic for a lot longer. The primary plastic feels very, very slightly softer and faster, which could just be completely because it's more broken in. But for me, a difference that small is not really worth thinking about. You can achieve an even bigger difference in the feel just by changing the lube and how much you put in. I personally like the black plastic more purely visually because it does look good, but also my recognition on it for some reason is better, probably just because all the previous Gan cubes were black plastic as well. Also, I noticed something really weird about this cube. On the white, blue, and red faces, it was making a squeaky noise as I turned. It was actually a lot more noticeable before, but I managed to fix it, and then I undid the fix so that I could show you guys how I actually did this. The magnets are supposed to sit inside the core there, so there's a bit of a gap, but then I found one that kind of sticks out. The corner magnets would actually rub against this magnet and cause the squeaky noise, which is why only these three layers were doing it. So it's not that the magnet sticks out, it's that there was for some reason an extra magnet in here, probably one that just fell in as they were making it. I don't know why that would happen, but I found a way to remove it. If you kind of pull on it with your nail, you may be able to get it out eventually, but it kind of snaps back in. You have to be careful with it. Another thing you can do if you have extra magnets from other cubes is you can just put it there and then try and take the other magnet out. And if that doesn't work, you may have to do a combination, start by loosening it with your finger and then use the other magnet. This seems like some kind of accident in production, and it probably doesn't happen often, but just in case it happens to you, then that's how it's done. Thank you so much to SpeedCube Shop for sending this all to me, and there are links to all of the products in the description. Also, be sure to use the best discount code. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. In case you didn't know, the best discount code is the discount code JPerm. Thank you for listening.